While the other sophomore and junior girls in high school were heading to hang at the mall, she was preoccupied with being regarded as the world's next top supermodel. Born Chanel Iman Robinson on December 1st, 1990 in Atlanta, Georgia, she was born to China Robinson and her dad, American basketball coach Tick Price. Her name Chanel to the designer, and Iman after a cousin with the same name. Before, I didn't like my name. I wanted to be a Brittany or a Tiffany. I didn't even know who Iman was at first. Her and her mother moved to Culver City soon after, then to the affluent Baldwin Hills, often referred to as the Black Beverly Hills. Iman attended Fairfax High School, a school with alumni like Demi Moore and Lenny Kravitz. Most models that make it to the upper echelons of the industry never thought of being one. Chanel did. All my life I wanted to be a model. She was a model every year for Halloween. Manifestation. Hesitant of her maturity, but aware of her daughter's desire at 13, and a little nudge from her aunt, China took Chanel around to open calls. Open calls, unlike scouting, where agents actively seek out talent in the field, are when a modeling agency allows walk-ins from the potential public. I remember she went into the agencies that day, Robinson said. I was on a layover at the airport, and my phone started ringing that night. Signing with Ford Los Angeles, she did what most teen models do, teen magazines and catalog work. A year later, she entered and won third place in Ford's Supermodel of the World competition, which came with $50,000 and a contract with Ford New York, where she relocated to. Modeling agencies typically have branches. Development, where new faces reside. They test, they move up the ranks with their work. The main board is where girls with solid credentials play. The timing of model promotion varies, with an average of 1 to 2 years being the standard. Chanel climbed the ladder in months. She began castings for the 2006-2007 show season, confirming shows in New York. She debuted at New York Fashion Week, walking for Philip Lim, DKNY, and Tory Burch. Because of her quick success, Ford tested the waters and sent her to Paris for castings as well. She booked 33 shows for the spring 2007 season. For the fall 2007 season, the bookings nearly doubled. She began homeschooling due to the heavy work demand. With her Korean and African American background, her look was one designers took to, which at the time wasn't seen often, for more reasons than one. In the 2000s, runways were void of color, with some exceptions. Most eyes from critics were on designers. Ivan Bart, former president of IMG Models, said, "We include them in our show package, give them the same promotion as any other girl, and get the same responses. She's lovely, but she's not right for our show." Chanel stayed afloat, working just as much as her peers, walking for most of the major fashion houses. But there was still a glaring issue. She'd be the only model of color in set shows. She recollects how designers would hire one black girl per show or campaign, and that designers would tell her, "We already found one black girl, we don't need you anymore." When someone tells you, "We don't want you because we already have one of your kind," it's really sad. She mentioned to Net-a-Porter in 2013, "All three of us models are very successful in our careers, but because in the fashion industry there's only one black girl allowed, they've made us compete to be that one girl." Although runway shows allowed only 1 or 2 of them at a time, Chanel, Jordan, and Joan all went to achieve supermodel status, a feat that many of the Caucasian faces that surrounded them at the time can't say. All while globetrotting, Chanel's mother was always by her side, similar to another black Californian model, Tyra Banks. "I would always wear black to blend in," China said. "Many of them didn't want to see parents back there, but I didn't care. I went." Part of Chanel's down-to-earth personality is credited to having China near during her rise. You have to trace it back to her mother. Honestly, I don't see many mothers backstage the way I did in the early 90s. In May 2007, Chanel appeared on the cover of American Vogue with 9 other top models, albeit the only model of color. She achieved a status so many strive for before graduating high school. She shot campaigns for Bottega Veneta, D Squared, and Jean-Paul Gaultier. She went on to cover multiple editions of Elle and Harper's Bazaar. Mastering her craft, she set her attention on the media, appearing in Beyoncé's music video for Beyoncé and the 2015 film Dope, starring her then-boyfriend, rumored fiancé, A$AP Rocky. They separated in 2014. Education is important to Chanel. She traveled to Tanzania and Uganda to help build primary schools for young children. She also sponsors multiple children in Kenya, helping with their financial needs. Today, she's a mother. She had 2 daughters, Callie and Cassie, with her former husband, New York Giants receiver Sterling Shepard. I would advise new moms to lead with love and do the best they can. No one's perfect. Giving yourself a little grace goes a long way.